Hey guys, today I want to talk about our trip earlier this summer by sailboat to the San Juan Islands there in Washington State. We start off by arriving to the Bellingham Yacht Club. That's where the sailboat is kept. Usually, and again, this time wasn't any different. We usually grab some lunch, bite to eat at the Web Locker restaurant, variety of seafood and different options there. And then once we're done there, loaded our things and journeyed off on our way to our first island. After been on this sailboat a few times, this one's unique because after we get out of the marina, a few minutes later, we were basically right in the middle of a sailboat race, which was very cool. There were so many boats competing. You can see here, got a couple videos of a couple different boats there as they were in action. So that was pretty neat, seeing all the boats kind of competing. As we traveled to our first anchorage, we got to enjoy views of the different islands, all the different types of boats that were going in the other direction or just cruising around out there. As well as we got closer to our first stop, there's a ton of ferry traffic, large ferries out there. So it's very important that you got to keep an eye out for that because they're not going to stop for you. So you got to yield to them. So it's important that you kind of can judge where they're going because they're going to go a lot faster than you. So it's very interesting and you got to make sure you're not dozing at the wheel and paying attention. So very interesting. After a few hours from leaving the yacht club and making our way, we arrived at our first destination, which was Spencer Spit. This one's going to be unique because it's got basically the best way to describe it is a disappearing part of the island. And this is because when the tide shifts, so it's going to be very visible when the tide's low, but when it's higher tide, you can't really see it. So it's very important when you're out there using your maps and navigation to make sure, because if you haven't experienced it before, you can easily run ashore. So it's very interesting to see it at different times of the day because it goes out very far and leaves a little narrow passageway to travel through in your boat. So very interesting there. Spencer Spit is going to be part of the larger Lopez Island. It's going to sit on the eastern shore. It has a long beach, as you can see here, to play on. It's going to be scattered with driftwood that's made its way ashore. We brought a shovel and bucket for our son. He was able to dig around, have a little fun. I was able to get the drone and get some videos of him, which is always very neat. As we walked along the shore and the beach, found a lot of crab shells, different sizes. We'll talk about it a little bit. A lot of crabbing done out here. So we got to do some of that, which is fun. All of the anchorages had this, but as you can see here, great sunset views, particularly if you have a drone, bring it out there. There's always great things to capture. And this made for some really great views of the boat that you wouldn't really get otherwise. And then after that and our night in Spencer Spit, we got up in the morning, got settled, everyone got coffee, and then we made our way over to Hunter Bay the next morning. When we woke up, there's a ton of fog, so we let that burn off a little bit before embarking on over to Hunter Bay, which is on the southern part of Lopez Island. So we found a spot there to anchor. As soon as we got anchored, got settled, we then went out in the dinghy and set some crab pots. After that, then we gathered the rest of the group, made our way to shore, and there we kind of were looking for anything that we could see the tiniest crabs out there, which is very fun to see. Anything else on the shore just to show our son. While we were out there, he got a chance to improve his casting skills with the new fishing pole his grandma had just got him a few days earlier. And then we walked around the island for a bit before we decided to head back to the boat. So after spending the night here, the next morning we made our way over to Roche Harbor. This is part of San Juan Island, and it's located on the northwest side here. Of all the stops that we make on this trip, this is definitely going to be the busiest the anchorage is we visited, because it also has a marina too with, I think, between 350 to 400 slips for different vessels there. And I've been here before, but it always amazes me. It just has the biggest boats I've ever seen in person. Like, I'm not around boats all the time, but you know, these things are massive. And as we're driving around in a little dinghy, it's just so impressive. It's hard to put into words, really, as you can tell. Once you get through that and get to the marina, you can find a place to tie up, dock there with all the other dinghies from all the other people that are anchored out there. And then we went and got some ice cream. Promised the little guy ice cream, and you can see here, wife got a nice shot of him enjoying his ice cream. And then Dad here was a little hungry, so I enjoyed my ice cream. But then I went and got some lunch and got some fish and chips at the Lime Kiln Cafe, and those were pretty good. Here also too, made the point of the stop in town was to go to the market. My wife's stepdad, his birthday was coming up, so he wanted to make it a special one. Went and bought some, real nice, expensive champagne. We also needed to restock up on the wine because we underestimated how much was on board to start the trip. So that makes it nice to be able to get some stuff while you're out at the various islands. And then also gave us time too. While they were doing that, I took the little guy over, little grassy field here, and we got to play around, run around, and enjoy some time on land. Since a lot of his time was on the boat, so this kid loves to run, so he was able to do some of that in before we went back to the boat to enjoy our time there. The nice thing about this port is very interesting. Is this here while you're an anchor, you can get a chance to see all the seaplanes. So you get to see them take off, but more so you get to see them land real close in front of you. And as we were leaving here to go to the next anchorage, we were able to catch one as it was landing, and we got to experience that. So that was fun for all of us. So after we got done here, we hopped on over the next day to Garrison Bay. This is going to be a nice little quiet cove near the English camp on the west side of the San Juan Island. So it's a very short little trip from Roche Harbor over to here. And this location here of the English camp in Garrison Bay housed the British soldiers. I believe it was from 1860 to 1872. Today, it's a National Park Service site, and they have preserved a few of the buildings on the ground. There's not always people from the Park Service there, but when they are there, it's open, and they have a few of the buildings open, so you can view inside of things like places like the officers' quarters, and then the blockhouse, which was used as kind of a watch station to be able to view. It was situated right on the water to be able to see all the incoming traffic that was coming through, be able to protect and notify folks in the camp. Just around the corner, you have Westcott Bay. Main thing there is the Westcott Bay Shellfish Company. I definitely recommend stopping here for a meal. But if you're planning on being in this area for whatever reason, make sure that you make a reservation in advance. Even though it's out here and on an island, it's a popular place. And the first day we were there in Garrison Bay, we took the dinghy over and tried to get seated, and they were so busy they didn't have availability for us. Tried to make a reservation for the next day. They didn't have it, so they said recommended coming in early. So we did that, able to get seated, but definitely recommend making a reservation. Biggest thing here is they're going to have a selection of oysters, mussels, clams. The unique thing about this is they all come directly from those waters right in front where this sits. And they're all from the farmers who hand raise them. So a ton of fields here. I think I have a picture that I can show. Hopefully you can see it. But this is where they put them all there and raise them by hand, which is pretty cool. I'm an oysters guy. Prefer them cooked than raw. They have different options. They have a couple different flavors of oysters, and you can try them all. They have a flight of them, and definitely try the oysters while you're there. So after we were able to get lunch at Westcott, we made our way over to Sucia Island. This was our last stop and anchorage of the trip. It has several places to enter and to anchor here. We came through a beautiful narrow pass on our way to find a spot to anchor. Hopefully I have the video, I'll pull it up now. It's just nice, kind of narrow passage with different parts of the island on each side of you. So it just makes it unique for that. Once we anchored, we went straight out to place the crab pots. And after we let them soak and got them that night, I think we let them soak all day. We did great. We caught about 8 to 9 that we were able to keep. We have a couple licenses, so you're able to catch 5 per license. So as long as they're the right size and right gender, you're able to keep those. So caught a few crab early in the trip, so we were able to have some nice crab meals, throughout our fresh crab meals throughout the trip. We then took the dinghy in. We were able to hike to the other side of the island. And when you get to the other side of the island, it's going to have a decent sized beach. This gave us a chance for our son, get some time out off the boat, got to play in the sand a little bit, get in the water. He likes to get the rocks and throw them. I tried to show him how to skip them. He's only 2.5, so a little too early to do that, but he just likes throwing those rocks and already trying to work on and getting that strong arm for him. There's lots of hiking trails here, and if that's something you like to do, keep that in mind. To wrap up the night, we enjoyed our crab with some wine to cap the end of a great trip. This wasn't our first time out here, but it was for our 2-year-old son. He did very well for his first time on the boat. We called the dinghy Cooper's boat. And we still do when we talk about Grandma and Papa's sailboat. We were already talking about where to visit next in the boat. My father-in-law is already asking and saying, hey, come up, spend some more time. We'll go out into the waters in Canada. So we're looking into it. So we'll have to see if next year we can make it back out for another adventure and some of those new locations that we're talking about. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. So again, hope you're enjoying the commentary and all the videos. Please subscribe if you're not. And leave some notes in the comments, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye.